Let me know when we're good. We are good. We good?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, guys, here we go. So, guys, end of the quarter, end of the month. How's everybody feel about that? Huh?
It's crazy.
Some of us feel great, and some of us feel okay, and some of us feel so-so. But the message for today is the numbers matter. Where's Taylor at? So Taylor, you, from the call report yesterday, are the only person that made it. So congratulations, pal. With talk time, 3 hours and 33 minutes. Nice job. Nice job. The rest of you, dog shit. Double dog shit. All right, look, we're going to go over a couple things here. I want to try to relate this message of the numbers really matter. It's the perfect timing, end of the quarter, end of the month, to talk about this. Why do the numbers matter? So let's look at it as it relates to our office, right? The numbers matter in how much we fund, what our spread is, how many apps we get, how many calls we make, and how much talk time we have. You can add one more here, of course, which is approvals, because I think that's an important number too. Kendra and I did that quick exercise yesterday. We're going to do that in the sales meeting following this, but I think those are as it relates. But we talk about this so often, I think sometimes we forget of how it actually relates to real life. So let's talk about it in a real life scenario rather than on our work scenario. Let's talk about the fitness idea of it for a second, right? Because this fitness thing is so connected to what we do in real life. It's insane how connected fitness and work is. Because if you only work out 1 day a week, right, we can make no progress in a weight loss program. You just can't get in shape working out 1 day a week. So how many people are working out? Let's start from the bottom. How many people are not working out at all? And how many of you are even afraid to raise your hand? Okay, all right. Quabi, you worked out 1 day yesterday. That's why you don't have to raise your hand.
Hey,
You got
it
one
counts.
workout in, so
It
you're
counts.
good. All right. Let's see it again. If you don't work out at all, raise your hand. Okay. How many people are working out 2 days a week? And 5 days a week? Most weeks. All right, nice. Because listen, the days count. And the exercise that you do during those days really counts too. But here's what most people forget when they're working out. It really matters about the reps. Because if I'm doing the reps like I was this morning with this guy who's half crazy, this trainer I have. I mean, this guy is really like he works out on Saturdays and Sundays with a huge bodybuilder. The guy's like 5'8", 300 pounds. And he tells me that this guy pushes him so hard that some days he'll even pass out in his workouts, okay? It's a roll-up gym. They roll up the garage door and he works out, and sometimes he'll literally pass out during the workouts. He loves it, right? And I'm like, hang on, dude. Right, I'm not looking to pass out this morning, all right? But what I learned from this guy is that the amount of reps that you do counts incredibly much on the progress. So if you're doing bent over rows with 10-pound dumbbells for 12 reps, you might as well have not even done the rows at all. It doesn't do anything. Zero, right? So you got to drop the 50 pounds in there, right? And you got to try to get 15 reps. And that's how it works. So you got to push yourself harder for the reps. Then, of course, in the fitness world, we got to count calories in and calories burned. Because really, when it comes down to it, it's just this, right? If I want to eat less or eat more than I burn, I lose no weight, okay? Now, how does it relate to what we're doing here? Guys, I think what's really important, this push, the second half of the year push, is how do we go from here to here? It's not just a how do we stay where we are, it's how do we go from here to the next level. And that's also going to be the push moving into 2016 for us, is how do we go from we made this much to how do we make this times 2. It's not how do we go from making 70 grand a year to making 85. It's how do we go from 70 to 140. So I need the group to start to understand that the push in here is not how do we make incremental changes, it's how do we make massive changes. And the way we make massive changes is by creating massive changes. If you don't change, nothing changes. Can we all agree with that? If we want change, we have to do things differently. So if we do no outside sales calls, but we want business to grow, you gotta make outside sales calls. If you're only making 30 calls a day, but you want your income to double, you gotta make 60 calls, guys. You gotta do more reps, you gotta do harder exercises, and you gotta do it more days. It's just that simple. So my suggestion to everybody, if you're looking for a little bit of change, if you're looking to go to the next level, start doing a few things differently. Number one, definitely start working out. Look, how can I am absolutely the guy in the glass house throwing stones, right? When it comes to working out. I mean, I don't have much street cred when it comes to that, right? But I do it every day almost now, 6 days a week. And I feel better because it allows me to understand the two most important letters in the English language. Anybody?
N-O.
N-O. You put those two bitches together and you get the word no. And no is the most powerful word you can start to say to yourself. When you're working out, no, I'm not going to eat the ice cream. No, I'm not going to do the Philly cheesesteak. Just that moment. When you say that, it creates change. It creates discipline. And that's what we need. So if you're looking for change, Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 12:15, 12:45. Cost you how much?
$5.
Cost you $5 to go work out with Chris in this parking lot. Life changing. Nick, how much have you lost by doing the workouts?
35 pounds.
You've lost 35 pounds doing the workouts. Congratulations, dude. And Nick, just side note here. What happens to you tomorrow?
I become national sales
You
manager.
become national sales manager. Hey, I'm just throwing out there. Any possible correlation between the two, Nick?
Yeah, probably.
Come on, definitely.
No, yeah, it helps with focus. It focuses you in the middle of the day, and it really, like, if you're having a bad day in the morning, man, it blows all that shit out the door, and you can have a great afternoon. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
10 days, you love it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like,
Oh, yeah.
get fired up for thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
Get you organized in the morning. Do I have my sneakers? Do I have my workout clothes? Am I going to take the shower? What does my day look like? Just by committing to that 30 minutes out there. You don't even have to commit to what you're doing in the office. Just by committing to get a gym bag ready for that, commits you further than not doing it. I highly suggest it for everybody. It's really can be potentially life-changing. But the point here is, guys, if you understand what happens with exercise to change the body, you understand what happens at work to change the numbers, all right? And the numbers count. Tomorrow is the day where we will launch the numbers for the month and the quarter. Some of you are going to be very happy. Some of you are not going to be very happy, okay? It's the way it is. We have one national sales manager who moves up, and we have one national sales manager who comes back, unfortunately, okay? It's a hustle muscle thing. It's a discipline. It's a what does my day look like? It's a goal setting thing. It's a planning thing. With all due respect to Kendra, we already talked about it yesterday, and the first thing I asked her is, are you using a goal setting workbook? Right? Are you using a Cardone 10X planner or are you using a Michael Burt Monster planner? And Kendra, what'd you say?
I said not on a daily basis, that's for sure.
How many pages in that Monster planner do you have filled out?
Oh, just a few.
Just a few.
I started it and I got consumed with my day and set it aside, and I shouldn't have done that.
So don't beat yourself up over it. We all do it. The point is, guys, when we start something, we got to close the freaking circle. You got to just commit to closing the circle. If we start it, we got to close it. If we buy the damn book for 35 bucks, how much is the Michael Burt planner?
That's about right.
I think the Cardone planner is 39 bucks, right?
And you can expense it.
Listen, you might be able to expense the $5 too. I don't know. You might be able to figure out a way to expense that too, right? I mean, when you look at it, is that $5 that gets spent for the boot camp out in the parking lot the greatest return on investment known to man?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and like
We
when I
actually
went
just all
that
paid
one
20.
time, like I work out and like I work out like 3 hours a day.
You work out 3 hours a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I went to work out with him, I was like, wow, like I'm so like out of shape. Like I felt like when I would work out by myself, like I was like going so hard and like I ran so much and everything. But you notice like even if you run, you're not really gonna lose what you're trying to lose. You have to do different workouts.
It's such a good point too, though. That 30-minute workout might be strong, might be better than the 3 hours you're doing on yourself, right? So think about it here too, as it relates to exercise versus work. How many times are we doing 3 hours worth of here, when really we could probably condense it to a hardcore 30 minutes, like we get when we do the boot camp, right? How much wasted time? So wouldn't you like to get 2.5 hours back? Right? 2.5 hours. I'm telling you, those are incredible workouts here.
Yeah.
So that's the message for today, guys. Understand it. If we're looking to change, if we don't like the way the first half of the year has gone, the second half of the year is available. It starts tomorrow. Start. If you want change, you gotta create change. It doesn't just happen. Change requires change. All right? So I'd love to see more people doing that boot camp. I promise you, if you do that boot camp, life will get so much better for you. It will just get more disciplined. It will get more organized. It will get more focused. You'll start to feel better about yourself, and numbers will increase. All right? So that's the message for today. As we start the second half of the year, the third quarter, the second half of the year, if you're looking for some change, get ready to create the change. I can't force that issue. It comes from inside. But if you want change, change. All right? Okay, cool. Let's get after it. Thanks, guys. Let's do our sales meeting. Okay, guys, appreciate everybody. How many we get there?